Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Yesterday we talked about Iran, Turkey, North Korea, Mexico, and Canada, and America in Bible prophecy. Today we're going to be talking about China, and I'm going to try to also get to Israel and some important things too. First of all, and now I have not done a lot of research to give you all of the details here. It would just take me too long. These are details that I've just remembered off the top of my head, but I think the point is going to be the same. So let's talk about China. First of all, China's President Xi made good friends with Trump. Trump made friends with him. That's good. That's a good thing. Trump was wanting help with North Korea, which he apparently got, but apparently it was only a temporary thing. China apparently was wanting Trump to continue the unfair trade practices that make China very favorable in their trade and further their goal to take over the world. Trump, however, was only offering friendship but not commitment to cooperate against the interests of America. In other words, Trump wants to be friends, but Trump's first alliance and allegiance is to America, and that's a good thing. So Trump placed one round of sanctions, which China did not really believe he would do. Of course, China jumped up and responded and complained right back and issued reciprocating sanctions specifically set to put election pressure on Trump to buckle. Trump not only didn't buckle, but has added a second round of sanctions as the EU and Mexico have made trade agreements. Of course, that puts more pressure on China. Trump says, however, it's not really time to talk trade with China yet. In other words, he's a great negotiator. I really believe in him. Now, August the 3rd, let's tie some things together because a lot of the things I'm about to say are really tying things together over the last several months of broadcasts. So August 3rd, this guy Q, all right, now let me introduce to you who Q is in case you missed that broadcast. A lot of people think that it is President Trump. I don't think so based upon my reading many of his postings, but I do think it's someone in the White House. It would have to be someone with White House access and with access to Trump. My guess is probably like General Kelly or someone on his level. It has to be someone in a high position. So, August 3rd, he says, we have the server. Well, what server is he talking about? Obviously, they're talking about Hillary's server. And this is August 3rd. Now, August 29th, this headline came out. Headline, Chinese company reportedly hacked Clinton's server, got copy of every email in real time. A Chinese state-owned company reportedly hacked former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's email server, then inserted code that forwarded them every copy of virtually every email she sent or received after that. A revelation President Trump is demanding be investigated. The Daily Caller reported that the firm operating in the D.C. area wrote code that was embedded into the server and generated a courtesy copy for almost all of her emails. The code was reportedly discovered in 2015 by the Intelligence Community Inspector General, which then warned FBI officials of the intrusion. A source briefed on the matter confirmed to Fox News the details of the caller's reporting and said that the ICIG was so concerned by the revelation that officials drove over to the FBI to inform agents, including anti-Trump agent Peter Strzok, of the development after it was discovered via the email's metadata. The source told Fox News that the hack was from the Chinese company. All right, let's stop right there. Q said August 3rd, we have the server. August 29th, it comes out that a Chinese company reportedly has all of Hillary Clinton's emails. So what do you really think happened? Well, maybe a Chinese company did also hack her unsecure email server, but my guess is, look, okay, the truth is, if it goes through the intranet, if it goes over any phone line, if it flies through the air, any place on the globe, it is captured and recorded by the NSA. So you can do everything you want to Hillary's precious 33,000 email server, but once an email has been sent, you can't hide it. You can't call it back. It is part of the NSA computers. So the truth is, it doesn't matter who has the server. The NSA does have every one of her emails. You cannot send an email without it being recorded. Now, it may be secure, it may be encoded or something like that, but probably they can uncode the coding. In other words, when it was reported that Hillary's server was destroyed and bleach bit, you can tear up the server all you want. You run over it till it's flat as a piece of paper. But you cannot destroy those emails that have already gone through cyberspace out there. Then on 4/10 of 18, Q says, now this is going to make sense when you stick with me here. Q says, quote, trust Sessions. Second line, trust Wray, meaning the head of the new CIA. Trust Kansas. I don't understand all of what he says, but let's go on. Trust Horowitz. That's the Inspector General. Trust Huber. Okay, well, that's kind of the point of where we're going here. Title is Turley, Sessions appointing Utah federal prosecutor, much better for Trump than second special counsel. You want to know what's important? My opinion, this article is one of the most important articles that I have seen for sure this year, maybe in the last couple of years. It's dated 8/29 of 2018. That's important to remember too. Listen to what it says. Washington, D.C. Professor Jonathan Turley, a top national legal expert on government investigations, commented on Thursday about Attorney General Jeff Sessions' decision to bring in U.S. Attorney John Huber. Turley called it brilliant. To combine all the powers, let me say it again, to combine all the powers of the U.S. Department of Justice's Inspector General with a prosecutor who can bring charges, seek indictments, and get results for President Trump far more quickly than a second counsel. Okay, what are they up to? Remember we've talked about, I guess it was back in January, I made a radio broadcast that went viral. I think it's like 241,000 views now. And it was entitled, Are 44,000 Marines About to Round Up 10,000 U.S. Leadership? And in that, I said that apparently, based upon prophecies, not based upon news sources, based upon what the prophets say, apparently there's going to be a giant roundup of top leadership. Well, listen to this. Turley is a law professor at George Washington University who attained national fame during the 1998 impeachment of President Bill Clinton. As a top legal authority on special counsels and congressional investigations of government wrongdoing, including criminal wrongdoing, his reputation has only grown during the intervening 20 years as he has weighed in on scandals and investigations of, listen to this, public officials from both political parties. Sessions sent a letter to House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte. Now, he's one of the good guys. House Oversight Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy, he's also a good guy, and Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, all three good guys, informing them that Huber is conducting, I hope you're listening, Huber is conducting a full-fledged criminal investigation into all the matters Republicans are calling for. Let me read that again. These three guys, Goodlatte, Trey Gowdy, Chuck Grassley, have been informed that this Huber guy is, in fact, conducting full-fledged criminal investigations into all the stuff they want to know. It goes on to say Huber has been, in other words, he has been doing this quite some months now, has been investigating these possible crimes for 5 months since November 13, 2017. All right, guys, we're coming upon that's being like around 10 months. How many people does he have investigating? Who is he investigating? What is he doing, and what is he investigating, and what is he doing when he does find something? Well, the interview says that Lou Dobbs' Fox Business Network show Turley explained to guest host Stuart Varney that the media are wrongly reporting, I hope you're hearing this, the media are wrongly reporting that Sessions will not appoint a second special counsel. He did not foreclose the possibility of a special counsel, he insisted. Instead, Turley explained that Sessions has ordered Huber to team up with the Inspector General within the Justice Department to investigate these matters. Okay, here's what it's saying. It's saying that Sessions isn't out to lunch, and Trump not getting involved with the DOJ and not releasing all the redacted files that they want them to release. Maybe, as I've been saying, maybe this is just a big plan, because this is what the prophets say. I've talked about that in former broadcasts. I won't cover that today. But apparently they're saying this guy, Huber, has a team that is going out and investigating the bad boys. In other words, they are in the process of draining the swamp. Let's go on. Sessions informed Congress in his letter that all the matters recommended for investigation by Goodlatte, Gowdy, and Grassley are fully within the scope of Huber's existing mandate. Now, what's that saying? It's saying Goodlatte, Gowdy, Grassley, these are the good guys in Congress. These are the good guys that are trying to drain the swamp, trying to see that the Clintons get arrested. He's saying that there is someone going out, checking, investigating, and preparing indictments. That's what he's really saying. Let's go on. He also informed the chairman that Inspector General Michael Horowitz, who is working with Huber, oh, listen to this, has a staff of 470 investigators. I've been telling you this. I've been telling you, but now I have an independent source confirming it. See, when the prophets say something, well, a lot of people just turn their head and they kind of chuckle and, yeah, well, that's what the bunch of Christians out there that think they're hearing from God. Well, those Christians that thought they're hearing from God, that God spoke to them back in 2010, that this was coming, and here this thing is just here in the last couple of months, they've discovered it. Well, our prophet's been saying this for 6, 8, 10 years, brothers and sisters. Now we're getting confirmation it's not just coming, it's here. Let's go on. So this General Michael Horowitz, who is working with Huber, has a staff of, oh, listen to this, 470 investigators giving Huber access to enormous investigative power that far exceeds the staff of any special counsel, meaning that Sessions is not asleep at the wheel, meaning that Trump is not sitting down doing nothing, meaning these guys have not 13 or 17 angry Democrats that are investigating the Trump presidency, like, for example, Mueller has. These guys have 470 investigators, and their firepower far exceeds the staff of any Mueller special counsel. Let's go on. The point is critical because, as Sessions' March 29th letter explains, the Inspector General's jurisdiction to conduct civil and criminal investigations includes, oh, listen, actions taken by former employees after they have left government service. Then Huber can act on any of those matters. What's that saying? That's saying that Peter Strzok, just because you've been fired doesn't mean that handcuffs are not on the way for you. Likewise, a lot of things. In other words, this is the draining of the swamp. This, my brothers and sisters, is what we've been asking for, but there's more. Let's go on. As a U.S. attorney, Huber has full authority to impanel a grand jury, to file criminal charges, and a grand jury can be impaneled anywhere, which means that it could be a group of citizens from Deep Red, Utah, in the heart of Trump country, instead of the D.C. swamp that decides whether to hand down indictments for felony prosecution. The Inspector General's jurisdiction extends not only to allegations of legal violations, but also to allegations that department employees violated established practices as well. Means they're not only going to get them for breaking the law, but also for breaking protocols within their established whatever it is. Let's go on. Sessions added in his letter, which means that the IG's report can hold people accountable even for actions that do not violate a specific law statute. I think Sessions did the right thing, said Turley. I think the president should listen to General Sessions on this one. Sessions, quote, can always appoint a special counsel, unquote, Turley explained, but that should not even be necessary because Huber has the ability to prosecute cases. Are you hearing me? In other words, brothers and sisters, when we're saying that there's 45,000 sealed indictments out there, and part of the people cooperating with this are military investigators, understand all of this is all in play. Again, I'm going to get to that. Let's get through this. Let's go on. Do these prosecutors have the same power to investigate and get to the bottom of the things like the special counsel would have? Varney asked. Actually, Turley said, yes, they do. I think people are missing what could be a brilliant move here by Sessions. What he did is essentially combine the powers of the Inspector General with the powers of a line prosecutor. This prosecutor does not have just the experience and training to look for criminal cases. He also has the ability to move a case of that kind in court, Turley emphasized. Not only that, but if Sessions believes crimes were committed, but Huber for some reason does not bring the charges, Sessions has reserved the right to go ahead and appoint a special counsel. That's a powerful combination, he observed. When Varney asked Huber and Horowitz status as Obama holdovers creates a possible problem for Sessions and President Trump, Turley said, no. Observing that each man has a great reputation. Oh, listen to this. Listen to this. Each man has a great reputation as a dogged investigator. You got that? So Sessions is not asleep at the wheel. He's not sitting down. Instead, he's been standing up. He's got everything all lined up. He's got 470, quote, dogged investigators, and they are going out and they are looking for dastardly deeds, laws broken in high places. They're not trying to catch people jaywalking, brothers and sisters, nor are they trying to catch them running stop signs and red lights. They're trying to catch people that are doing high crimes. In other words, there's about to be a roundup, a big roundup. Let's go on. Breitbart News has separately confirmed that Utah Senator Orrin Hatch and Mike Lee, both of whom are Republicans, who support aggressive investigations of these scandals, enthusiastically supported Huber to be reappointed by President Trump. Reappointed by President Trump. In other words, all of this is all at President Trump's direction. So don't you know he's seeing to it that it's being done right. Reappointed by President Trump as his U.S. attorney in Utah. The Senate confirmed Huber in a 2017 second-term election. Huber is a Utah lawyer, not a D.C. lawyer. That distance between him and Washington is very important, Turley explained, because Huber is not part of the deep state. That is, not cozy buddies with all the cocktail parties seen in Washington, D.C. Turley said that President Trump should be very happy that Sessions chose this route of appointing Huber, who has the power to seek indictments, prosecute cases, and teamed up with the likes of Horowitz, who has 470, quote, dogged investigators at his disposal if the president wants to see swift and decisive action. He found it. He says if a special counsel were appointed, there would be a great delay. Oh, did you hear that? If a special counsel were appointed, there would be a great deal of delay, meaning these guys, with their 470 dogged, unquote, investigators, are moving much faster than a special counsel. Special counsel have been going after Trump now for almost 2 years. Found nothing. But rest assured, these boys are not sitting on their laurels. These boys, according to what, well, I guess many people, but Q, I'm about to get to him here. According to what they're saying, apparently these 45,000 sealed indictments are exactly people like the Clintons, the Orrs, the Rob Rosensteins, and people like that. Okay, let's go on with what Q writes, and I'm going to try to decipher it for you, try to fill in the blanks. 4:10:18, he says, trust Sessions, trust Wray, that's the CIA director, trust Kansas, trust Horowitz, trust Huber, meaning these guys are working behind the scenes. Now let's go to the next one. If RR is dirty, I think he's talking about Rod Rosenstein there. If RR is dirty, Mueller must also be dirty. If Mueller is dirty, RR must also be dirty. Yes, well, easy analysis. Common denominator. Why did Sessions pick RR? In other words, why did Sessions put Rob Rosenstein in charge of the DOJ? I think it's because he knows he's dirty and he wants to take him out. Everyone has an opinion. Few have the facts. Few know the plan. Midterms. Save and push. Now, you have to understand, I'm reading down a list that are partial hints, and if you can't fill in the blanks, then I understand that may be very frustrating for you. But I think as prophecy students that are pretty well informed, as I go through this, it's going to start making sense. So hang on. Swing voters to retake House and Senate, meaning that what he's saying is the White House, whoever this is in the White House, believes that they're not only going to retake the House and the Senate. And you remember that guy, the fireman, Mark Taylor, said that the next midterm election is going to be a landslide for the Republicans. It'll be a red wave, and I believe him. Impeachment proceedings, parenthesis, open source, initiated. Power at all costs. Blue wave, question mark. Use logic. Why must the DOJ and FBI be cleaned first? See, what he's really hinting at is there is about to be a draining of the swamp. There is about to be a 45,000 member roundup in America. Let's go on. What is the DOJ responsible for? What is the FBI responsible for? Why did HRC, that's Hillary Rodham Clinton, get a free pass? Use logic. Define single shooter. Who is Huber? Now, we've already discussed Huber's the guy that heads up 470, quote, dogged investigators. Let's go on. Define IG. Okay, IG is Inspector General. This is the guy, this is Huber, this is the guy that has authority to do more than a special counsel. When does Sessions step back in? Why would someone in the White House, if in fact Q is coming out of the White House, why would he say, when does Sessions step back in? I think it's because Sessions will step back in at the right time when they're ready to round up the 45,000 in sealed indictments. Next line, already is. Why did Sessions secretly engage Huber? Why did Sessions reveal Huber? Timing is everything. Department of Justice does not discuss ongoing investigations or confirm special matters. What about the active investigation into leaks? Some of this you really have to just look, and it seems like the more you're aware of Bible prophecy, the more you're aware of news and things that are going on, the more you can understand what he's saying. But I believe that what he's saying is that Sessions did step out in the process of creating the big stopper to drain the swamp. And soon he will step back in. All of this is all part of their plan. Let's go on. Mil Intel, meaning military intelligence, providing support during this time. What he's saying is that the Marines or the military intelligence is assisting these 470 crack agents that are out rounding people up. Oh, I skipped one. Horowitz oversees a nationwide workforce of more than 450 special agents, auditors, inspectors, attorneys, and support staff whose mission, oh, listen to this, is to detect and deter waste, fraud, abuse, and misconduct in Department of Justice programs, personnel, and to promote economy and efficiency in department operations. If you're reading between the lines, like I'm reading between the lines, brothers and sisters, what it's saying is what is planned is a giant draining of the swamp, and the plug is soon to be pulled. Let's go on. Why are select EOs aggressively being written and put into law? An EO is an executive order, meaning, in other words, they're stacking the deck. They're getting ready to pull the plug, you see. Think logically. No outside comms. Justice. He's saying think logically. Don't listen to what the news is saying. Think justice. Now, earlier he said, what is an indictment? Well, here's the definition of an indictment. It's a criminal accusation that a person has committed a crime in jurisdictions that use the concept of felonies. The most serious criminal offense is a felony. Now, again, that was dated, what was it, 4/10/18. Now let's jump to some, there's lots more of these. Go to this QAnon, Google him and search him out and find it. Now let's go to 5/4/18. Sealed indictments. How are they sealed? How are they secured? How are they safeguarded? No leaks, parenthesis, unusual question mark. Federal versus why are accusations sealed? Grand jury involved question mark. Reread crumbs. Reference DOJ, FBI, reference IG and Huber. Who appointed Huber? Now, essentially what I think that's saying is, yes, we're behind the sealed indictments. Yes, we're working. We seal them. We secure them. They are safeguarded. There is no leaks. And one of these days we're going to pull the plug and drain the swamp. Now let's go to the one dated 6/11/18. Hence, why POTUS? POTUS is President of the United States. Hence why POTUS is leaving earlier than planned. While the media has a field day with the news, the events have already taken place. We are hungry for the arrests. Let me read that again. We are hungry for the arrests. IG, Huber, have more than you know. What they're saying here is, yes, we are planning massive arrests, and there will be a day we will pull the plug. This is dated 6/12/18. When the info is released, RR no more, meaning Rob Rosenstein is going to be one of those arrested. When the info is released, no more Russia investigation, meaning it's going to pull down Mueller and his investigation. That's the reason Trump is not worried about that. It will factually conclude the corrupt nature by which the entire false narrative was created, all to one, prevent the election of POTUS, 2, delay, shelter, mask, and hide all illegal activities by Hussein referring to Barack Hussein Obama, others during the 8 past years. DOJ/FBI cleanse, vital as primary. Huber, Cumming, these people hate America. What that's saying is that some top people in high places are going to be arrested, and there will be no more Russia investigation, and it's going to drain the swamp. It's going to clean the top levels of America. Hallelujah. As you recall, we asked for $26,850 from Prophecy Club people to give to Bree Keaton and her pygmies to keep them going. Right now we have $17,334 come in, so we're still about $9,000 short, and Prophecy Club still needs your help too. So if you can help, please call Prophecy Club. Go to prophecyclub.com and make your best donation today. And Lord, bless those people that are blessing your ministries in Jesus' name. Amen.